January 2016. Starting slow. As we last left off, the channel was in copyright limbo. However, that didn't quite deter us as the comic dub Shots Fired came out and Doodled released a new review for the introspective Pony Island. We once again revisited the video game Gone Home in a live stream, and this month was when we began to prepare for our big return, knowing that it wouldn't be long before we'd be back on the scene. February 2016. Preparing to return. February was when most of the heavy lifting took place. The new Lovac Game Night intro was created, we started color coding our videos, and we began to prepare the comics, game nights, and the new Lovac channel intro. Until the next month, we only had one comic dub, A Killer Friendship. This also showed off the voice of one of our newer members, Kaito. Of course, she wasn't the only new member ready to work, but we'll get to them all later. March 2016. The Return. On March 7th, the copyright strike had officially ran its course, and we came back better than ever. Starting off with reintroducing who we were, we had completely revamped the podcast that added a little more focus on the visuals. There were comic dubs that had credited the artists and actors within the video, and boy howdy did we have game nights! For the comic dubs, we had Every Year by Lovacians, War by Searching for Banana Flies, A Gift from Sans by Paycheery, and Dork by Purple Calamity. As for game nights, our Lovac game night was The Legend of Zelda, Four Swords Adventures with Connor, Allison, Chell, and Nate. The Night and Day Showcase was, of course, Allie and Connor's first ever experience with Undertale. And finally, we had Splat Night for the introduction of Moire Towers, which also came with the Splat Night podcast on the Lovac Uncut channel. Overall, this first month back was one heck of a good start. Oh, and Connor came out with another time to scream. Take a wild guess at what it was. Give me up, give me up, give me up, give me up. April 2016. Fools and Dreams. April was the greatest month of all time because we got to start with, honest to God, the greatest game ever! So with the game nights, we started with Running T-Rex, an insanely incredible game that I personally feel like truly deserves the praise it's been receiving. For the Night and Day Showcase, we had a full house as Allison went through the beautiful world that was the Sonic Dreams collection.
I hope this is what you wanted.
Finally, we had a duo day project with Nate and Doodled as they went on an adventure through the Oregon Trail. As for comic dubs, we had Mob to a King by Opal Science, Beware the Hair by Chaz Forte, Tem Cops by Coolbot, and Princess Rorschach by Princess Marty. On top of that, we introduced another new member through the Lovac podcast, Carlos. May 2016, HD Remaster Month. So nearly a year prior to the HD Remaster Month, we asked the folks subscribed to the Old Lands of Voice and Cans channel what old comics they would like to have remade. Flash forward about 10 months later, and we had our final results. The Makar Family by Takara Time, Take Little Car Cat Trick or Treating by Watchel Spinat, I'm so sorry. Switcheroo by Guzusuru, same person who did the Homestuck ending animation by the way. Turning Tolian by an artist who decided to leave their Homestuck life in the past, and finally we had Dirk Cheer Jake Up by Jotaku. Of course, the comic dubs weren't the only things remastered. Many of our previous game nights went back through the editing software for a more modernized update. Gone Home, The Stanley Parable, Limbo, and Board Game Online were the 4 revamped game nights of the month. And boy, let me tell you, that last week of HD Remaster Month was super nostalgic. Dirk Cheer Jake Up was Lovac's first ever Lovac comic dub, and Board Game Online was our first ever official Lovac game night. Seeing them remade and updated definitely gave a nice heaping helping of nostalgia.
Boner.
June 2016. The break begins. So at one point in May, the Lovac road trip occurred as Allison and Connor drove halfway across the country, meeting up with other members before the Night and Day duo moved in together. Because of this, the channel was low on content supplies, and thus Connor called for a quick break in updates, calling this the Lovac Summer Break. While on break, the channel released very few videos to pass over the time. For Lovac Game Night, the crew released the last game from the Lovac meetup of 2015, Super Mario 3D World. As far as comic dubs go, the channel had Destroy Me by Sarg and Hurdy by Spooky Bishonen.
Wait, even better.
I win.
July 2016. Behind the scenes beckoning. In July, we had The Great Balancing Act by Emotad, and that's it. That's the only thing that came out in July. However, July was far from boring behind the scenes. Work began on the Lovac summer break videos, game nights and comic dubs started to be processed, and finally the big finale of Splat Night was recorded, meaning that the Splat Night series is now 100% recorded and is currently going through the editing process. And it's honestly really freaking exciting to see how much effort went through this finale.
Freeze, Jenna. Are you? Jenna. I didn't do it. Spuddy buddy. What happened? She did her stupid Swedish accent and then said Coke, and it came out as something else. Would you like it, Coke?
I can't see it.
August 2016, Summer Splashes. During August, a new synergy was born within Lovac as Connor and Allison began working on short videos combining their art and editing to help tie over the dry spell on the channel. Each short video being fun memorabilia amongst the entire group and features almost everyone. While these videos were unveiled, the group finished the recording session for over dozens of game nights and comic dubs. Now just to edit them all. Dear God, we just have to edit them all. So many comics. So many games. Three and a half grueling hours of Mario Party. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself here. September 2016. End of vacation days. Throughout the month of September, we began to gear up for the return, and on the first day of autumn, we returned with our summer break video completed. We also had a Legend of Zelda comic dub by Naomi Sky, and Justin, Stu, Allison, and Connor played Scott Pilgrim vs. the World the game. Both videos had plenty of effort put into them, including custom Scott Pilgrim sprites and a pretty nice end credit sequence for the dub, if I do say so myself. The Scott Pilgrim game night was a result of last year's Night and Day meetup, and you can see one or two of the scenes of us playing it on the Lovac Uncut channel, along with the rest of the first time Allison came to visit. They're great, check them out, it's awesome.
She's an explorer. In all the wrong ways.
Where are the explorers shampoo?
Where are we going? Down there.
October 2016. Streams and scary stories. So to compensate for our lack of podcasting, we at Lovac began live streaming. We started with trying to play video games, but it turned out to be easier just to talk. The live streams have been a bit of a rough start, but as time's gone on, we've gotten better at organizing them, and hopefully we should have more of them in the future. In the meantime, however, October was jam-packed with comic dubs. 5Ds of Inner Peace and Synchronization Problems by Art Seki, The Ultimate Game by Salty Sensation, The Fool by The artist who drew the Phoenix Wright comic dubs, and also, hey, remember that Carlos guy from April? This was his comic dub debut. Way to go, Carlos. Great job. You did it. Way to go. It's so great having you on board. I'm so proud of you. You did great. Woo, hooray. All right. We also had special guest star Senile Snake voice Hanzo in our other Overwatch comic dub. Thank you, Connor. Great job. You did great. I'm so proud of you. Way to go. We don't have a sprite for you. I'm sorry.
A Date to Die For by Uruguayan also came out this month. This has been edited in post. I am so sorry. I'm unprofessional.
Finally, we ended the month of Halloween with a dramatic reading where 3 of the members of Lovac, Justin, Chell, and Connor, recall some of the spooky experiences they've had throughout their lives. It was a nice change of pace, and it's honestly been over a year since our last dramatic reading, so it was really nice. November 2016. Special guests! So Senile Snake wasn't our only special guest voice so far, there were plenty more in store. Heck, one guest warranted their own comic dub, but I'll get into that soon. During November, we had A New Flavor of Bonk by Liz, A Father's True Form by Yam, Candy Shop by Scout, and Overheating Problem by Snackadile, which also featured Total Spiffage as the voice of Widowmaker. This gave us a comic dub for every week and one more special comic dub at the end of the month. On November 30th, we voiced an HD remake of Pyrocasm's Vinny Professional Bridge Builder comic dub. However, this time, we spoke with Vinny from Vinesauce and he was willing to lend his voice to the dub. It was an honor to work with him, and he was honestly really cool about it. Like, man, I don't really know what else to say. It's kind of a big step for New Lovac in hindsight, so I'm super proud of it. A big thank you to Vinny from Vinesauce for voicing himself in the comic dub, and thank you to Rochelle for letting us use your art and voice act over your comic, and thank you Stu and Justin and Allie for making all this possible and voicing the other characters, and you know what? Thank you to Mara for your help in Overheating Problem and for playing Overwatch with Allison and I, and you know what? Actually, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. I'll get back to this in a second. December 2016. Thank you. Oh god, I'm a sap. Okay. So we had Fire in the Hole by Kananeski, which introduced our final and newest member of Lovac, Lala. We had Hollow Threats by Dominal Damsel. This was our second appearance of Kaijo, by the way. And we also had Air Support as the final comic dub of the year. We also had a holiday cast and a throwback live stream, and that was the year. That's it. And holy cow, when I started this list, I got so worried because we hadn't done much due to the copyright strike, and then summer hit, and not much happened there, but over these past few months, we've been really extending and getting involved with live streams and guest voices, and it's honestly been really, really cool. I'd like to take this time to officially welcome Kaito, Carlos, and Lala, 3 incredible new voices that have joined the group, and we're happy to have them on board. Again, I'd like to thank Vinny, Tamara, and Connor for lending their voices to a few of our comic dubs. It was incredible having you all help out, and I really hope to work with all of you again soon. A big thank you to Daniel and Kevin, to Stephanie and Jasmine, to Martin, to Stu, to Justin, to Doodle, to Chell, to Nate, to Allison. Man, you know, after 3 years, you think I'd make this way less sappy, you know? I guess the truth of the matter is that I started running Lovac at a really low point in my life. And over these past few years, it's all changed around because of these guys. Because of you guys. Sure, we only make comic dubs and play video games and talk sometimes, but we've grown so much. We started this group when I was just graduating out of high school, and now, almost 5 years later, half of us live within driving distance of each other. We've built friendships that have lasted throughout struggles, through confusion, through depression, through anger, through our past griefs, through our present grief, through whatever grief that may come. We're going to be around for a long time, and I want to thank all of you for joining us throughout this past year. Your viewership and you know what, screw professionalism, you're all amazing! You're amazing viewers. We get double-digit comments every day, and you better believe I've read through all of them. Plenty of you join us for our live stream and talk with us directly to the point of even impacting our upload schedule. Guys, we were done with Homestuck comic dubs after Remaster Month. I had to literally dig the assets for Candy Shop out of my computer's trash can when I learned that that's what you guys wanted to see. It's incredible that we have our own little community, and it's grown twice as big as it was last year. Thank you all so much for watching. You are all absolutely incredible. As always, my name is Connor Brownlee. I'll see you all in 2017, and thank you.